For my screencast, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Adobe Photoshop's pen tool to create a clipping path. Clipping paths are essential because they allow designers to trace the outline of objects to cut them out, or eliminate the background. I've used clipping paths several times in this course to edit the images I've used in projects. In this demonstration, I'm going to create a clipping path around this picture of an old toy truck to remove the background. Once the background is removed, I want to place the truck into this old city scene. Before I get started, let's briefly discuss how to navigate Photoshop to open the tools and windows we'll be using. If we go to the Windows menu item, we can click our Tools option at the very bottom to open our Tools panel. The pen tool that we'll use to actually cut out the truck is this icon here that looks like the tip of an old fountain pen. If we go back to our Windows menu item, we can open up our History and our Layers. The History panel is it's very helpful because if you make mistakes along the way, it tracks everything you do so you can easily revert back to a previous spot. Your Layers panel provides a layer for every image element that makes up your graphic. It's easy to keep things organized, and you can arrange your image elements so you can stack them on top of each other. I'll use this Layers panel to put our truck image on top of our city scene after we cut it out. Let's get started by making a copy of our truck layer. So click our truck, come over here to our Layers panel. If we click and drag our layer down to the bottom where there's a little page icon, that means a new layer, it'll make a copy for us. I like to make a copy of my original layer so I can revert back to it if necessary. Now let's add a layer in between and fill it with white using the Paint Bucket tool. So we'll select our white, and the Paint Bucket tool is over here in the Tools panel. And all we have to do is click anywhere inside the image. I do this because as I remove parts of the background, the white layer will help me see my progress and identify any imperfections. Now that we have our layers set up, let's start clipping. My personal preference when eliminating the background of an image is to work in small pieces, instead of cutting out the entire object at one time. This helps me focus on the details of a particular area and makes it easy to start over if I make a mistake. In this scenario, the goal of the pen tool is to outline the area we want to delete. Let's grab our pen tool and make our first click. Each time we click the pen tool, it connects the previous point, essentially connecting the dots. When we come to an area that has a curve, clicking and dragging the mouse instead of letting go will allow us to outline the curve. However, the next click will follow the direction of the previous path, shown by these handles. To remove this path, hold the Alt or Option key on the Mac and click the previous point. Now let's make a couple more points. Now that we have an area outlined with the pen tool, let's delete it. With the pen tool still selected, right-click inside the path and select Make Selection. This will turn our clipping path into a selection. If you want to make the edges softer, you can enter in a range or just click OK. Now that we have a selection, press the Delete key to remove that portion of the image. Continue this process until you've completely removed the background. You can work on your images using small clipping paths like I just did, or you can create a clipping path around the whole object. It's really your preference. In the interest of time, I have another image of the truck already cut out. I'll use the Move tool to drag the truck layer over the top of our city image. And there you go, it's as easy as that. Once your cut out image is over the new image, you can arrange their order by moving them in the Layers panel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this informative.